Hello, hello, hello. Kuda Biza here. I'm really excited to share my Sunday weekly stock market prep live stream. And the whole point of these live streams is to be able to look into what happened last week in the market, but also have a good outlook and forecast of things to come. So I'll just jump right into it. And we'll start with actually what's coming up this week, because this week is going to be a very busy week. So, as you can see, there's a lot of economic data that's going to be coming out this week. On Tuesday, we have consumer confidence that's going to be coming out, as well as the job openings. Wednesday, we have non-farm employment data, GDP, and then the crude oil inventories. And then on Thursday, we have PCE both month over month and year over year, and then the initial jobless claims, as well as the Chicago PMI. And when we go into Friday, Friday is also quite stacked. We have some employment data coming out and also some manufacturing data. Now, this is important to just know as you're trading, because the market can react to some of this economic data. Obviously, there are expectations as to what the reports should have, and then whatever deviation, whatever deviation from the forecast to the actual could cause a reaction in the market. So that's something that we should all be mindful of as you're trading. You can get these reports on investing.com, and you can also go to Forex Factory. They also have the economic calendar. But what I think, in my opinion, is really going to drive the market this week is going to be this. There are so many companies that are going to be reporting earnings, and these are companies on the S&P 500. They are big companies that drive sectors and categories. So there's going to be a lot of attention to a lot of the companies that are going to be reporting earnings this week. I'm going to be highlighting the ones that I'm going to be paying attention to. And I'm also curious to hear what you guys are going to be paying attention to. So let's dive right into it. Monday, it doesn't really seem like there's a lot going on. The two companies that I'll be looking at is going to be Ford and Waste Management. Those are two that I think could be ones that can present really good opportunities in the market. And then on Tuesday, before open, PayPal, McDonald's, BP, and Pfizer are really solid companies to pay attention to. JetBlue is also a good one to look into. And also, SoFi, the financial services company, I think is good to look into. But after close is where I think a lot of the action is going to happen, because you have AMD, Alphabet, the parent company of Google, Snapchat, Chipotle, Visa, First Solar as well, that are going to be reporting. So Tuesday after close, there's going to be some big earnings that are going to be dropping. So the question is, are you going to play earnings before they report, because these companies are going to report after close, or you play off the reaction the next day at market open on Wednesday? Pretty much up to you how you want to play it. I normally like to do it after they report earnings because you never really know what's going to happen, right? And then on Wednesday, you have Lilly and Caterpillar reporting before the market opens, but also you have Microsoft, Meta, Coinbase, Robinhood, Etsy, Roku, and Starbucks at the bottom that are also going to be reporting. So again, the bulk of the reporting is happening after close on Wednesday. So something for you to also pay attention to. Thursday, Uber, Peloton, MasterCard, Merck, those are the ones that I'll be looking at before open, as well as Roblox. I think that could present some opportunities. And then after close, you have Amazon, Apple, Intel that are also going to be reporting. And then on Friday, the two big oil companies, Chevron and ExxonMobil, as well as Wayfair. So as you can see, we have a pretty stacked week in terms of earnings. So it's just something to be mindful of. All right. So now what I want to do is I just want to shift the conversation and really look into something that I just pay attention to get a gauge as to where we are from a sentiment perspective within the market. And it is the Fear and Greed Index. So the Fear and Greed Index is something that I look into, like I just said, and I'm actually sharing the wrong one. Let me open the one for this week. There we go. So let me just pull the one for this week. So the Fear and Greed Index, as you can see, when it was updated on the 25th, on Friday, you can see we're kind of like on the greed side, but we've dropped because a week ago we had 74, now we're at 59, right? So it's obviously better than a year ago where it was extreme fear. So right now we're kind of like in a bullish trend, and we'll look into the charts in a minute. But the key point here is that we can go even more bullish depending on the economic data we just spoke about, as well as also the earnings. But if the earnings don't come good, there's going to be a huge drop in terms of market sentiment. So let's take a look into the charts. And the idea is we're going to be looking into what happened last week. And for this exercise, I'm going to use SPY because it's the S&P 500, and we can look at it and really see what happened with SPY, and we can go from there. So let's start off with the weekly view. So as you can see from a weekly perspective, right? Last week, you can see the market retreated, right? And as you can see right here, we set a high the previous week. And then this week, the previous week, we retreated a little bit. So I'm going to go down to the daily view because it's going to be important for us to also take a look at it from a daily perspective. So let's just go to the daily view. So from a daily perspective, right, you can see that on Monday, we retreated. Tuesday, we went up. But there's a huge drop on Wednesday, an inside day on Thursday, and then another retreat on Friday, right? So something for us to just really pay attention to, because obviously we have the high for SPY right here, and then we kind of like retreated down and started to climb back down. On a 4-hour perspective, this is how it all looks like, right? So we can see that there's this general demand area right here where we retreated into on Wednesday, and then we set a high and then kind of like retreated back on Wednesday. So what does that mean for this upcoming week? Well, we have to see if we're going to retest the highs, right? Are we going to come back up and retest the high? Because if so, we could probably see SPY go even to the 590s or potentially 600 levels, depending on the economic data as well as the earnings. What we can also see is we can see price come retest the highs, but only to be sent back again, right? So my sentiment is if earnings are good, we're probably going to see the highs being tested and potentially new highs being set. So again, I have no idea as to what's going to happen in the market because we have a lot of economic data, number one. Number two, we have the earnings that's happening. And also number three, we have the election. So given those three factors, my sentiment would be trade very, very carefully when you're in the market. You want to make sure that if you're not clear on the trend, there could be some consolidation that could happen in the market. So you want to be very quick if you're trading options or even futures to go in and out of your positions. But if you then see a trend forming, so for example, earnings are good, the economic data is good, and there's nothing from the election side that's gonna bring the market down and we're very bullish, this thing could really run. Same thing on the bearish side of things, right? If there's bad news from an earnings perspective, if some of these economic reports come in bad, you can see we can see a massive retracement from kind of like where we are to go down to start the bullish move again. So that is what I'm seeing with regards to the market right now, and I hope that this video was helpful. Let me know what you're looking to trade. There's a lot of earnings activity that's going to be happening. I'm probably going to stick to SPX. I'm feeling the semiconductor AI companies like AMD, Intel. I think those are going to probably give some really good moves in the market. And again, this is just me giving you my thoughts. It's not investing advice. So definitely do your own analysis and take the time to really find your play. But this week can potentially be a week where you can find some really good winners and make some money in the marketplace. Make sure you have your stop loss and your risk management rules in place. And when you see profits, take profit. So I'll see you guys next week. Hope you enjoyed.